Whoa, good morning. Looks like everybody. I'm having issues over here. I think it's a YouTube thing or a StreamYard, and it'll happen every so often. usually it ends up being something with StreamYard where I have these issues. Just these weird, funky little lags that it gets. Well, good to see you this morning, Farrell. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you get yourself a nice day of work in. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Welcome over there on the Rumble and the Twitter and Kick and YouTube sides. Everybody have a wonderful morning. Yeah. Oh, I was sorry, might be running a couple minutes late, but I was looking for a particular video that I'd seen the other day. And it looked like, I think Radix had pulled this one up, which was pretty cool. Check this out. This is a guy that cost several guys their jobs. You remember who Richard Trask is? Hey, cool gamer. Hey, Eris. Good to see you. Glad you're making it in. This is the the FBI agent that assaulted his wife, and after he took her out swinging, and well, apparently didn't like what the outcome was of it.
In 2001, I joined the U.S. Air Force because I wanted to serve my country and my fellow man. 7 months after joining, I watched the events of 9/11 unfold. Less than 2 years later, I would find myself in the Middle East supporting the war on terrorism and Iraqi freedom. In 2004, I became a special agent with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations.
That's fine.
Throughout my career in the military, I traveled extensively, interacting with law enforcement around the world in a variety of investigations and training missions. I've worked with special operations at the Joint Special Operations Command. I've lived and worked with federal investigators in Europe and across the U.S. I deployed to Africa. I've worked with national police and conducted force protection operations. During my time, I've investigated sexual assaults, drug traffickers, gang members, murderers, child molesters, spies, and terrorists. After 10 years of service, I left the military and joined the FBI. Since then, I've continued to serve and protect my community. I've investigated and assisted in bank robberies, assaults, domestic and international terrorism, all manner of counterintelligence investigations, and many other types. I've traveled the country for training and met and worked with many local, state, federal law enforcement agents. Throughout my career of almost 2 decades, I have maintained a spotless record. I've had an honorable career.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
And I am proud of that.
So this guy had a spotless career up until the point that he started working with the FBI and got ruined the lives of several people. Yeah, I'm a boomer.
I cannot take back what happened that night, but I can find solace in knowing that I was not myself. My wife has forgiven me for what happened because she knows, in her words, that night was not you.
After he beat the snot out of her. Jeez.
I cannot recall any details of that night, but I do take responsibility. I didn't need the court or the prosecution to tell me to do that. I sought counseling on my own and have taken steps to heal my relationship with my wife and my family. As a result of the situation, I've lost the only career I've known. My retirement is gone. I've lost friends. My reputation has been destroyed. My children have had to face questions.
You beat the snot out of your wife.
My wife has faced harassment. My family has had to further suffer because I can no longer provide for them in the way that I've had.
That is all on you, brother. All on you. He had a spotless career, or he hadn't got caught previously. Whatever. Yep. Well, the video of a video discussed as another video. Absolutely.
that I have in the past, which now all falls to my wife.
What's up,
I'm not
Lesco? Good to
asking
see
the
you, man.
court for forgiveness. I'm asking for my family to not suffer further by prolonged effects of my mistakes. I will continue to try to serve my community and my family. So I'm asking you to please allow me to do that. The events in July were a tragedy, and I take full responsibility for my actions, which caused pain and suffering to my wife and to my family.
Oh, I'm
My
sorry.
own guilt and sorrow will long outweigh any decisions made by the court. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, M Live Media Group. We appreciate you. So up early with coffee in hand. Awesome. Awesome. I hope you had a good time last night. Yeah, so that was the bonehead. But I've got better news. I love this particular one here because it put a little smile on my face, whistling my tune, and it's beautiful. It is so beautiful watching watching the watching this World Economic Forum. I don't know if you know who the World Economic Forum is, but they are a very, very socialist little group. You're still up from last night. Well, excellent. Excellent. Hey, Jude. I'll say this, then go. Yesterday, I went to a live chat and asked for prayers or thoughts for a creator. I shut down because I didn't know him. Shame on them. Thanks. Bye. Well, Jude, why are you hitting out? Sorry to hear that. You should always ask for prayers and thoughts on creators. I don't know who it was. Shut down because they didn't know him. Shame on them. Yeah, that's horrible. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I was thinking I would have always wished for hopes and prayers on somebody. Always wish for hopes and prayers. This one is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, just watching it just get destroyed.
Message that you introduce a new spirit to Argentina.
Oh, Argentina. Yes, the Argentina president is getting ready to come up and speak. What is that? Another unelected bunch of gaslighters quietly running the world under the guise of best for all. Yeah, but they get so destroyed by this guy.
Making
so beautiful.
Argentina much more related to free enterprise, to entrepreneurial activities, also to bring Argentina back to the rule of law. So we have a very extraordinary person among us today. And of course, we are all eager to listen to you. And again, a very
this
cordial welcome
Schwab
to the World
character
Economic
is a creepy dude. I like the guy's mutton chops. This man is hilarious. Now you'll have a translator up there.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Hoy estoy acá
Today, I'm here
para decirles que Occidente
to tell you
está en
that the
peligro.
Western world is in danger.
Está en peligro porque
And it
aquellos que
is
supuestamente deben
endangered
defender
because
los valores
those
de
who are
Occidente
supposed to have to
se
defend the
encuentran
values of the
cooptados por
West
una visión del
are
mundo
co-opted by
inexorablemente
a
conduce al
vision of the
fascismo,
world that
en
inexorably
consecuencia
leads to
a la
socialism
pobreza.
and
Oof.
thereby to poverty.
Lamentablemente,
Unfortunately,
en las últimas
in
décadas,
recent decades,
motivados por algunos deseos
motivated
interesantes de
by
querer ayudar
some
al prójimo
well-meaning
y otros por el deseo de
individuals
pertenecer a una
willing
casta
to help
privilegiada,
others and others motivated by the wish to belong to a privileged caste.
Well, that's sorry to hear that. I really am. Critical in a coma after. Man. Yeah, thoughts and prayers, because that's bad. That's bad. That is really bad. And definitely thoughts and prayers out to him and his family, because it's never good. It's never good at all. Don't unalive yourself ever.
Main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. We're here to tell you that collectivist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. Do believe me, no one better placed than us, Argentines, to testify to these 2 points. When we adopted the model of freedom back in 1860, in 35 years we became a leading world power. And when we embraced collectivism over the course of the last 100 years, we saw how our citizens started to become systematically.
That's right. Don't unalive, drink coffee. It'll just get you all amped up, and then you'll want to go do exercises and things like that. You'll not feel so bad about your life. It could be a little bit of that winter blues, although you prefer your caffeine cold, regardless of the time of day, or drink some tea. Tea can be very soothing. One of my wife's friends, she loves tea so much. I mean, even her name, which we make fun of. I can't say it because then it'll give away who it is. But yeah, she loves coffee. Or tea. She's a big tea drinker. Good stuff.
Impoverished, and we dropped to spot number 140 globally. But before having the discussion, it would first be important for us to take a look at the data that demonstrate why free enterprise capitalism is not just the only possible system to end world poverty, but also that it's the only morally desirable system to achieve this. If we look at the history of economic progress, we can see how between the year 0 and the year 1800, approximately, world per capita GDP practically remained constant throughout the whole reference period. If you look at a graph of the evolution of economic growth throughout the history of humanity, you would see a hockey stick graph, an exponential function that remained constant for 90% of the time and which was exponentially triggered starting in the 19th century. The only exception to this history of stagnation was in the late 15th century with the discovery of the American continent. But for this exception, throughout the whole period between the year 0 and the year 1800, global per capita GDP stagnated. Now, it's not just that capitalism brought about an explosion in wealth from the moment it was adopted as an economic system. But also, if you look at the data, what you will see is that growth continues to accelerate throughout the whole period. And throughout the whole period between the year 0 and the year 1800, the per capita GDP growth rate remained stable at around 0.02% annually. So almost no growth.
Just watch the reaction.
Starting in the 19th century, with the Industrial Revolution, the compound annual growth rate was 0.66%. And at that rate, in order to double per capita GDP, you would need some 107 years. Now, if you look at the period between the year 1900 and the year 1950, the growth rate accelerated to 1.66% a year. So you no longer need 107 years to double per capita GDP, but 66. And if you take the period between 1950 and the year 2000, you will see that the growth rate was 2.1%, again the CAGR, which would mean that in only 33 years we could double the world's per capita GDP. This trend, far from stopping, remains well alive today. If we take the period between the year 2000 and 2023, the growth rate again accelerated to 3% a year, which means that we could double world per capita GDP in just 23 years.
Wow.
That said, when you look at per capita GDP since the year 1800 and until today, what you will see is that after
they're pushing hard for one world government. Oh. So, okay. I need a little humor in the shit show of a world at the moment. They're pushing so hard for a one world government. Well, you have to have a little humor. And it is comical because I just want to I want to see the I want to hear the that's what I want to hear happen, and see him like slapping Klaus Schwab on his little head, little bald head, just patting him around. That would be funny. Come on, it would be. See him just chasing the Klaus Schwab around, smacking him in the head, just it'd be funny. Oh.
The Industrial Revolution, global per capita GDP multiplied by over 15 times, which meant a boom in growth that lifted 90% of the global population out of poverty. We should remember that by the year 1800, about 95% of the world's population lived in extreme poverty, and that figure dropped to 5% by the year 2020, prior to the pandemic. The conclusion is obvious. Far from being the cause of our problems, free trade capitalism as an economic system is the only instrument we have to end hunger, poverty, and extreme poverty across our planet. The empirical evidence is unquestionable. Therefore, since there is no doubt that free enterprise capitalism is superior in productive terms, the left-wing doxa has attacked capitalism, alleging matters of morality, saying, that's what the detractors claim, that it's unjust. They say that capitalism is evil because it's individualistic, and that collectivism is good because it's altruistic, of course, with the money of others. So they therefore advocate for social justice. But this concept, which in the development...
And this is what all of the World Economic Forum has been screaming and hollering about since its formation. What is? Hey, how's it going? This is Shizzy. Good to see you. No, this is the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, and he is speaking at the World Economic Forum, one of the most socialist gatherings you'll ever find on the planet, because they want to be collective. They want to tell you how to spend your money, how to grow your country, how we need to be equitable to everybody. And he is speaking out against it and just destroying everything that the World Economic Forum is about. He is laying down hard truths that nobody there at the WEF Davos wants to hear. And of course, it'll start lagging up on me here pretty soon, because that's the way that this channel works. A little bit of hesitation, a little bit of weirdness going on with the YouTubes, and it loves doing this. So you pause it for a second. And
that world became fashionable in recent times. In my country has been a constant in political discourse for over 80 years. The problem is that social justice is not just, and it doesn't contribute either to the general well-being. Quite on the contrary, it's an intrinsically unfair idea because it's violent. It's unjust because the state is financed through tax, and taxes are collected coercively. Or can any one of us say that they voluntarily pay taxes, which means that the state is financed through coercion, and that the higher the tax burden, the higher the coercion, and the lower the freedom. Those who promote social justice, the advocates, start with the idea that the whole economy is a pie that can be shared differently. But that pie is not a given. It's wealth that is generated in what Israel Kirzner, for instance, calls a market discovery process. If the goods or services offered by a business are not wanted, the business will fail unless it adapts to what the market is demanding.
Exactly.
If they make a good quality product at an attractive price, they will do well and produce more. So the market is a discovery process in which the capitalists will find the right path as they move forward. But if the state punishes capitalists when they're successful and gets in the way of the discovery process, they will destroy their incentives, and the consequence is that they will produce less, the pie will be smaller, and this will harm society as a whole. Collectivism, by inhibiting these discovery discovery processes and hindering the appropriation of discoveries ends up binding the hands of entrepreneurs and prevents them from offering better goods and services at a better price.
Yep.
So how come that academia, international organizations, economic theory, and politics demonize an economic system that has not only lifted out of extreme poverty 90% of the world's population, but has continued to do this faster and faster? And this is
Well, and that's his biggest thing that he ran on in his country. And you're going to see Argentina continue to grow because he's not stifling it. That shot looks like MST 3000. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. It totally reminds me of that Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah. It's hilarious. Just this guy completely walks into the most collectivist group of people and tells them what you're trying to do is wrong. You're stifling innovation, you're stifling people, you're stifling free thought because you're trying to force upon people a way that is going away from that discovery part. Instead of letting the market dictate what people want, you're telling the people what the market is going to provide them. Gave me another idea for an intro, but who? I love it. I love it. I gave you an idea for another intro, but who? I don't know.
Morally superior and just. Thanks to free trade capitalism, it is to be seen that the world is now living its best moment. Never.
You know what? Whenever I was, it was that starts with I think Madonna did a version of it, but there was someone that did it before her. I'm trying to think who it was. What's the name of that movie?
In all of mankind's or humanity's history, has there been a time of more prosperity than today? This is true for all. The world of today has more freedom, is rich, is more peaceful and prosperous. And this is particularly true for countries that have more.
Yeah, but there was somebody before her. Whenever I was growing up, I remember seeing that that particular should have won a Grammy for that. She killed it in the soundtrack. Yeah, but there was damn it, I don't remember who it was. I just remember seeing it whenever I was really little. Evita, yes, thank you. And it may have just been that it was like a Broadway show. You remember how they used to do those Broadway shows like Cats and stuff like that, and they would run the advertisement because it was going to be coming to whatever thing, and it was Evita. And I remember seeing this whenever I was, I don't know, probably 10, 12, somewhere around in there, like someone singing that song. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Freedom and have economic freedom and respect the property rights of individuals, because countries that have more freedom are 12 times richer than those that are repressed, and the lowest decile in terms of distribution in free countries are better off than 90% of the population of repressed countries, and poverty is 25 times lower, and extreme poverty is 50 times lower. And citizens in free countries live 25% longer than citizens in repressed countries. Now,
wow, wonder why that is.
What is it that we mean when we talk about libertarianism? And let me quote the words of the greatest authority on freedom in Argentina, Professor Alberto Venegas Lech Jr., who says that libertarianism is the unrestricted respect for the life project of others, based on the principle of non-aggression, in defense of the right to life, liberty, and property. Its fundamental institutions being private property, markets free from state intervention, free competition, the division of labor, and social cooperation.
Wow.
As part of which success is achieved only by serving others with goods of better quality or at a better price. In other words, capitalists, successful business people are social benefactors who, far from appropriating the wealth of others, contribute to the general well-being. Ultimately,
Well, it just is what the core part of capitalism is, where people think that capitalism is this, oh, let's take from everybody else and build ourselves up. And generally, whenever you've got someone that's worthwhile, not saying that they should be destroyed for the amount of money that they make. And no, it's not a perfect system, but it's a much better system than forcing somebody and taking it from them, which is not what we want to do. Yeah, Evita. I'm trying to think who the woman was. Eva Perón is second wife of Argentina, Juan Perón. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one.
Ultimately, a successful entrepreneur is a hero. And this is the model that we are advocating for the Argentina of the future. A model based on the fundamental principles of libertarianism, the defense of life, of freedom, and of property. Now, if free enterprise capitalism and economic freedom have proven to be extraordinary instruments to end poverty in the world, and we are now at the best time in the history of humanity, it is worth asking why I say that the West is endangered. And I say this precisely because
Is Jessica here? Jessica. I don't think there's a Jessica here. There might be someone named Jessica here, but if you're looking for Junior, Jessica Reloaded, no, she does her shows in the in throughout the day. But yeah, today's just me. I hope I put it in there. It was just me. I always forget. I'm a weird one like that, I guess.
in those of our countries that should defend the values of the free market, private property, and the other institutions of libertarianism, sectors of the political and economic establishment, some due to mistakes in their theoretical framework and others due to a greed for power, are undermining the foundations of libertarianism, opening up the doors to socialism and potentially condemning us to poverty, misery, and stagnation. It should never be forgotten that socialism is always and everywhere an impoverishing phenomenon that has fixed.
Oh, you saw the chickens on her stream? Yes. Wasn't that awesome? Yeah, she did a thing with her chickens, and that was she showed that to us last night. It was awesome. It was completely awesome having Junior showing off her little chickens. Pretty cool. Junior is most likely still sleeping. Yeah, it is really early where she's at. Well, definitely, and give her like, that like and that thumbs up, and give her a big kudos. Yes, it was last night. I don't know if she showed it live on stream, because she showed it to us in the back room. Most definitely. Yes, she does. She has a bunch of them, but they don't eat them. I was like, why don't you eat them? She was like, well, because they're like there. Okay. I guess they raise them and give them away to other people to eat. I don't know. Maybe it's weird. And then of course it's going to lag out on me, because that's what it does. Because this is YouTube.
In all countries where it's been tried out, it's been a failure economically, socially, culturally, and it also murdered over 100
Wicked Pizza.
million human beings. The essential problem in the West today is not just that we need to come to grips with those who, even after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the overwhelming empirical evidence, continue to advocate for impoverishing socialism, but
Yeah. So she is worrying about wicked stalkers, because somebody came showing up at her mailbox and dropped off a letter to her, or to her address, and then left their name and their address and their phone number and their email address. So we pulled it up yesterday, and we found this person, and they've got some mental issues. They're in, like, the address is a drug rehab center, and she's afraid She's afraid that, this person may be like looking at her in the background somewhere. That's a little creepy, a little spooky to think about.
There's also our own leaders, thinkers, and academics who, relying on a misguided theoretical framework, undermine the fundamentals of the system that has given us the greatest expansion of wealth.
No, no, this is just some random, and they've got a couple of they've got a little bit of a police record. I missed that part. If they put their hands in her mailbox, it's a federal crime. Call the postmaster. Not if they're dropping off a letter. No, just saying. Got to be careful.
And prosperity in our history. The theoretical framework to which I refer is that of neoclassical economic theory, which designs a set of instruments that unwillingly or without meaning to ends up serving the intervention by the state, socialism, and social degradation. The problem with neoclassicals is that the model they fell in love with does not map reality, so they put down their mistakes to supposed market failures rather than reviewing the premises of the model. On the pretext of a supposed market failure, regulations are introduced which only create distortions in the price system, prevent economic calculus, and therefore also prevent saving, investment, and growth. This problem lies mainly in the fact that not even supposedly libertarian economists understand what the market is, because if they did understand, it would quickly be seen that it's impossible for there to be something along the lines of market failures. The market is not a mere graph describing a curve of supply and demand. The market is a mechanism for social cooperation.
Did the sister or the cop get out to her last night? Yeah, they did get back with her. And they suspect if it happens again, like he leaves another letter in there, because usually whenever someone does this, they'll escalate. If they're a true stalker, then reach out, and then you'll have the proof that this person's been done it more than once. Just notate it all, but I think they'll be fine. That's how it goes.
Where you voluntarily exchange ownership rights. Therefore, based on this definition, talking about a market failure is an oxymoron. There are no market failures. If transactions are voluntary, the only context in which there can be a market failure is if there is coercion. And the only one that is able to coerce generally is the state, which holds a monopoly on violence. Consequently, if someone considers that there is a market failure, I would suggest that they check to see if the state intervention involved. And if they find that that's not the case, I would suggest that they check again, because obviously there's a mistake. Market failures do not exist. An example of these so-called market failures described by the neoclassicals are the concentrated structures of the economy. However, without increasing returns to scale functions, whose counterpart are the concentrated structures of the economy, we couldn't possibly explain economic growth since the year 1800 until today. Isn't this interesting? Since the year 1800 onwards, with population multiplying by 8 or 9 times, per capita GDP grown by over 15 times. So there are growing returns, which took extreme poverty from 95% to 5%. However, the presence of growing returns involves concentrated structures, what we would call a monopoly. How come then that something that has generated so much well-being for the neoclassical theory is a market failure? Neoclassical economists think outside of the box. When the model fails, you shouldn't get angry with reality, but rather with the model and change it. The dilemma faced by the neoclassical model is that they say they wish to perfect the functioning of the market by attacking what they consider to be failures. But in so doing, they don't just open up the doors to socialism, but also go against economic growth. An example, regulating monopolies, destroying their profits and destroying growing returns automatically would destroy economic growth.
Yes, it
In other
would.
words, whenever you want to correct a supposed market failure inexorably, as a result of not knowing what the market is, or as a result of having fallen in love with a failed model, you are opening up the doors to socialism and condemning people to poverty. However, faced with the theoretical demonstration that state intervention is harmful and the empirical evidence that it has failed couldn't have been otherwise, the solution to be proposed by collectivists is not greater freedom, but rather greater regulation, which creates a downward spiral of regulations until we're all poorer and the life of all of us depends on a bureaucrat sitting in a luxury office. Given the dismal failure of collectivist models and the undeniable advances in the free world, socialists were forced to change their agenda. They left behind the class struggle based on the economic system and replaced this with other supposed social conflicts which are just as harmful to life as a community and to economic growth. The first of these new battles was the ridiculous and unnatural fight between man and woman. Libertarianism already provides for equality of the sexes. The cornerstone of our creed says that all humans are created equal, that we all have the same unalienable rights granted by the Creator, including life, freedom, and ownership. All that this radical feminism agenda has led to is greater state intervention to hinder the economic process, giving a job to bureaucrats who have not contributed anything to society. Examples,
Love it.
ministries of women or international organizations devoted to promoting this agenda. Another conflict presented by socialists is that of humans against nature, claiming that we human beings damage the planet, which should be protected at all costs, even going as far as advocating for population control mechanisms or the bloody abortion agenda. Unfortunately, these harmful ideas have taken a strong hold in our society. Neo-Marxists have managed to co-opt the common sense of the Western world, and this they have achieved by appropriating the media, culture, universities, and also international organizations. The latter case is the most serious one, probably, because these are institutions that have enormous influence on political and economic decisions of the countries that make up the multilateral organizations. Fortunately, there's more and more of us who are daring to make our voices heard, because we see that if we don't truly and decisively fight against these ideas, the only possible fate is for us to have increasing levels of state regulation, socialism, poverty, and less freedom,
Everything
and
that's
therefore
happening
will
here.
be having
meeting.
worse standards of living. The West has unfortunately already started to go along this path. I know to many it may sound ridiculous to suggest that the West has turned to socialism, but it's only ridiculous if you only limit yourself to the traditional economic definition of socialism, which says that it's an economic system where the state owns the means of production. This definition, in my view, should be updated in the light of current circumstances. Today, states don't need to directly control the means of production to control every aspect of the lives of individuals. With tools such as printing money, debt, subsidies, controlling the interest rate, price controls, and regulations to correct the so-called market failures, they can control the lives and fates of millions of individuals. This is how we come to the point where, by using different names or guises, a good deal of the generally accepted political offers in most Western countries are collectivist variants, whether they proclaim to be openly communists, fascists, Nazis, socialists, social democrats, national socialists, Democrat Christians, Christian Democrats, neo-Keynesians, progressive, populist, nationalists, or globalists. At bottom, there are no major differences. They all say that the state should steer all aspects of the lives of individuals. They all defend a model contrary to that one which led humanity to the most spectacular progress in its history. We have come here today to invite the rest of the countries in the Western world to get back on the path of prosperity, economic freedom, limited government, and unlimited respect for private property are essential elements for economic growth. And the impoverishment produced by collectivism is no fantasy, nor is it an inescapable fate. But it's a reality that we Argentines know very well. We have lived through this. We have been through this. Because as I said earlier, ever since we decided to abandon the model of freedom that had made us rich, we have been caught up in a downward spiral, as part of which we are poorer and poorer day by day. So this is something we have lived through, and we are here to warn you
just for a bit
about what can happen if the countries in the Western world that became rich through the model of freedom stay on this path of servitude. The case of Argentina is an empirical demonstration that no matter how rich you may be or how much you may have in terms of natural resources or how skilled your population may be or educated or how many bars of gold you may have in the central bank. If measures are adopted that hinder the free functioning of markets, free competition, free price systems, if you hinder trade, if you attack private property, the only possible fate is poverty. Therefore, in concluding, I would like to leave a message for all business people here and for those who are not here in person but are following from around the world. Do not be intimidated either by the political class or by parasites who live off the state. Do not surrender to a political class that only wants to stay in power and retain its privileges. You are social benefactors. You're heroes. You're the creators of the most extraordinary period of prosperity we've ever seen. Let no one tell you that your ambition is immoral. If you make money, it's because you offer a better product at a better price, thereby contributing to general well-being. Do not surrender to the advance of the state. The state is not the solution. The state is the problem itself. You are the true protagonists of this story. And rest assured that as from today, Argentina is your staunch, unconditional ally. Thank you very much, and long live freedom. Damn it.
Nice.
That was fire. That was such fire. Let's get the new vac. Oh, you don't have to get the new vac. That's the beauty of it. Oh, if you do get the new one, you get one that's less expensive, better built. Because you need it, not because you want it. This guy lit it up and it set everyone off. Oh man, did it set people off. Next credit cycle should be fun. Yes. Credit where credit is due. It's also good to see you, Toodly Pip. I'm glad that you could make it in. 2024 is the year of the liberal tears. And they should flow. They should flow like rivers. I don't trust anyone. Well, don't tell that to Wolfram. Wolfram likes to get the shop vac out. That's what Wolfram likes to do. And I've had some experience with that this past week or two, is having to get out the shop vac for different reasons. It's crazy enough that, you've got people like that can still stand up and say, hey, the way that you guys are taking this social where everyone needs to be equitably treated. Everyone needs to be treated equitably, not equally, but equitably. And it doesn't work. Wolfie gets the shot back out because women can't stop drooling over your voice. Well, I don't know about that, but if he gets the shot back out, and you ladies are drooling, it's not a bad thing, is it? Oh boy. So here we go. Let's go on with this one here. So this is another Trans Am. See, here we go. Another Trans Am that faces disqualification. Vote for omitting a dead name. Now, if you don't know what a dead name is, it's the name that's on your birth certificate. And so another candidate running for the seat in the Republican majority Ohio House is at risk of being disqualified from the ballot after omitting his name on circulating petitions. Mercer County Board of Elections is set to vote Thursday on whether a Democrat from Agolzia County and one of the 4 Trans Ams campaigning for the legislature is eligible to run after not disclosing his previous name, also known as his name, on his petition paperwork. See how you do that? You have a generator on for a bit for you charges. Yamaha, good to see, brother. You get man, much kudos to you for braving this out, and it's fine. You be safe. You be safe. And I'm sorry to hear this, man. I really am. Everybody, keep some thoughts and prayers there for Yamaha. He's without power and has been for quite a bit of time. And it's just the only power he's getting is a gas generator, and he's running low on fuel. So he's just swinging by. Keep thoughts and prayers for Yamaha. He's riding out a pretty nasty storm. You be safe, brother. You really be safe, and all our hearts are reaching out to you. We don't disclose where Yamaha is. If he wants to disclose it, he can. Yes, all of the people miss you, Yamaha, and I know that you be safe. You be absolutely safe, brother, and don't you worry about a thing. It'll be fine. Keep those phones charged up and keep safe, And we look forward to seeing you whenever you can make it back. We'll have a celebration. We'll have a celebration whenever you make it back. So much prayers for you, brother. So Mercer County Board of Elections is set to vote Thursday under disclosing this little used Ohio elections law, which is unfamiliar to even many state election officials, which really sucks. If you make a law, everyone should be pretty privy to it. Unfamiliar even that candidates disclose any name changes in the last 5 years on their petitions paperwork, with exemptions. Oh, okay. Exemptions for name changes due to marriage, but the law is listed in the 33-page candidate requirement guide. There's no space on the petition paperwork to list any former names. Childry, who legally changed his name in 2020, said he would have provided her dead name, blah, blah, blah. I would have filed out whatever is necessary because at the end of the day, while it would have been a hit to your pride, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just who has sponsored anti-gay legislation? I don't know. Is there actually anti-gay legislation? I'm curious because I've never seen that. That's better than I had feared when he wasn't around Sunday night for story time. I thought it might have been health issues. I was worried that was health issues also, because it seemed completely odd that there was no Yamaha. But no, I'm glad to see that, it is not, and he's just got no power. Hopefully he's got some some heat happening where he's at because it's due to the cold. Storms have been bad. I hate them trees. Yeah, it happens. Yamaha biker has not a cannibal yet. I have other things to hunt now. There you go. That's good. That's good. We want you to be safe. You were severely messed, and we we can't wait to see you back in the saddle again. Keep warm, keep safe, keep the family safe. We are looking forward to seeing you back again soon. The law has been placed in some form of decades, although it's been rarely used and usually arises in the context of candidates wishing to use a nickname. So, last week, the Secretary of State, Frank LaRose, said while his office is open to putting the rule on the candidate guide, they're not open to tweaking the law, that it's up to the candidates to ensure they comply with Ohio election law. Mike DeWine said Tuesday that the law should be amended and that the country board should stop disqualifying gay candidates on the grounds, or people that change their names. It makes sense. And I sort of agree with him. If either amend the law, see, he knows better than leave me in the dark, inexcusable when he doesn't even have power. I mean, daddy should always tell his kid what's going on. There you go. But I think that the governor is correct in this. If someone's going through a name change because they're clearly a little messed in the head, that they should still be able to use whatever name that they want to. And I think that it does stifle somebody from being able to do that. That's just me. Now, whenever it gets to, I would disagree with DeWine that he puts a ban on. I think they should put a ban on gender affirming care for minors. That's, minors. That's dangerous. That's affecting children. I don't like you going after kids. Joyce says the current law is barrier to. No, that is not true. That is a lie. It's, here's where you can sort of meet in the middle. Work with legislation, get the law changed. You get the law changed, then you move on from there. But there's no reason that you should be worried about it. However, under state law, if Arnold were to win her election, she could still be removed from office for not disclosing her name. Now, here's the thing. I don't think they should. I think they shouldn't be able to run until either the law is changed or if everyone agrees and they actually win, then go for it. Go forth. Put forward some good legislation and make it happen. See how easy it is to get along with people you don't agree with. Know whenever it's bad. All right, we'll see in a bit. Whenever you've got a bad situation, something like that, then you should be able to work together to find a common resolution that's going to work well for everybody. I don't want to watch that because that's just ridiculous. So I saw that the AP explains why is the U.S. in a deep freeze when much of the world is hot. It's called weather. Weather happens. Weather absolutely happens, and we should have good changes. Let me see. Paste this in here if it'll work. Paste and go. So I saw this today, and I don't know what it's all about. So you get to watch it with me in real time. Something that I'm interested in seeing. Here we go.
Community itself is designed to fit. This is a compact footprint that is designed to bring all the things that the residents of the county have told us they need, like middle-class homes and good-paying jobs and clean energy.
So here's the thing. They want safe, walkable, middle-class neighborhoods, safe, walkable, middle-class neighborhoods, safe, well, it's weird. Good job. Solar energy farms. Good job. Solar energy farm. Greenbelt. Whenever I see folks like this, it makes me a little suspicious, because why is it up to other people to make a city? I mean, what makes most cities in the first place was some sort of commerce that would travel in and out. Commerce would happen. It would be a stop off for trains. It'd be a stop off for waterways. You know, you look, a lot of the earlier cities are built along the waterways because you could get, you know, your goods transported there without having to traverse a large swath or area. It's leave my clean living countryside town alone. Exactly. And you know, but if this is what the people of one particular area want, they want to have a little city, then go for it. But why would we do it state funded? Serves no purpose.
And a new bit of opportunity.
So California Forever, a company backed by Silicon Valley billionaires, is trying to win public support for its plans to build a new city in rural Solano County. So here's a right next to Travis Air Force Base. Why would they be doing this? Why would they be building all of this little here, a little city along an Air Force base? So they could easily, you know, and it's a weird way of doing things, but they could easily move this little city somewhere way out here, away from everything else, and see how long it lasts. Oh my gosh, what has happened here?
What's
Good
up?
morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm living Murphy's Law here right now, but
Everything that could go wrong does.
yes,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
all the things.
Did you see the Argentina's speaker at Davos?
I very little of it. I was busy at work and then
Oh, that's
driving.
fine. Yeah, he was pretty much on fire with what you know. So you're showing up at the World Economic Forum and talking about capitalism being a great thing. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
that's fire.
Thanks.
That's
Hi,
fire.
Billy. Hi, Danielle.
Oh, it's little D, Danielle. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's little D. That was my complaint about that thing. What was it? Hal made that, you said?
Hal? Yeah.
Eris. Hey, babe. I know I got in trouble. Whoops.
Look at that. Unless people are in the Northeast, every town is a city. Pretty much. I mean, I don't live in a what is it? A rural area. And it's more like an attachment kind of thing to the city, because you know the Atlanta area is pretty massive. I mean, if you looked up my address, it would still show as Atlanta. You know, it's pretty funny. What they're trying to do here is create their own little city and use all of the things that like ruin cities. Like they don't want to have any commerce. The only commerce is commerce within that city. And it's sort of a downfall for the city, because if you're not getting any outside income coming in, if there's nothing there that people want to see, they're just moving in and buying houses. But you know, they have to work there, they have to live there. It just becomes like this little commune kind of thing. They don't work. They're not producing anything except for what's produced there. like to give to the rest of the world.
Right.
Makes it really difficult for a city to thrive. You know, like if you think about it, you had places like Detroit that they would build cars. That was the product that they were creating. These cities got built up because they were building something. Or you have a coal mine, or you'd have a gold mine or a silver mine or anything where people were,
Something.
you know, something was being created and it was being sent out to the rest of the world. And so you would get this flow of commerce, and then you would have people on top of that, you know, mom and pop shop to supply some groceries. And then you know, the people that are actually transporting goods back and forth. So you've got like this flow of commerce happening, you know, just throwing a city up and saying, let's call it a city. And all that they do is produce coffee houses, and everybody works at the coffee houses.
So they want a commune?
That's what it looks like. I mean, they're putting it next to an Air Force base, so maybe they'll get some of the soldiers that come in and spend money. But
Because like even these collectives of people that do their own thing, like the Amish or the Mennonites or things like that, or the farm, they produce something to sell out of their
exactly.
system. Every single one of them does that I've known about.
Well, I mean, that you could house a whole bunch of the Hispanics and then make them drive really far to go to to go work in the fields. You know, I think we've seen this
You're
before.
still
You know,
outsourcing a product. You're the product then.
yeah, it was somewhere that they tried this once, and I'm trying to think where it was. I want to say it was like Georgia, Alabama, you know, the southern states. They already tried that, and well, it still was, you know, tends to not work very well. Yeah.
Right.
Every resident should be able to walk easily to all that good stuff.
All
For the
stuff.
broader
So this is the area right here. They've got a huge solar or wind farm, or just one
Right.
one
They're
giant
so gross.
impeller. But this is complete just desert.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get a good rainfall and this thing just turns to mush. There was a place, and I can't remember exactly where it was, but the water became so bad there, like I think it was brackish or salt water or something, that, and it just, like, all the fish died in the lake, and there was a whole city that was built there at some point, but just like went completely abandoned. Just everybody moved out because you couldn't even sell your house. It's
Right.
just like you're just taking it at a loss. I mean, could you imagine just abandoning a whole place because the groundwater is just not drinkable? You would have to have water shipped in.
Right. Hmm.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't hear
so
about that.
horrible. I'm trying to remember what the name of that place is. I saw like a documentary on it that was, you know, what happened to, it was like Crystal Lake or something like that. And, you know, it had a really pretty name. And if you look at it from a distance, it's like, wow, that looks awesome. Looks like a wonderful place to be. And then once you like dig into it, it's just horrible conditions. Like you couldn't even live there. You'd be better off living out in the Sonoma Desert. I'll have to do a search on it here in a bit. I've been having this problem with the YouTube fuckery, where if I pause it and start it,
we have a chance to
back.
make a real contribution to housing for people in Solano County. We have the chance to bring good paying jobs much closer to home. That means people can have a shorter commute, means the tax base will be strengthened.
I think that when they do bring that new community in here, there's going to be so much traffic, so much population growth. They're going to have to build freeways. They're going to have to build a new bridge. It's pie in the sky. No crime. The stuff they're trying to sell to people is just garbage. And I don't think it's going to fly in this county. Nobody wants it.
I'm excited. I think the footprint is makes a lot of sense. I like I really appreciate the way they took some of the comments that we had, some of the concerns that we had expressed to them. they incorporated those concerns in their plan.
So they basically did what you want them to do. They made it look all pretty like you wanted. Sure, Noble. I think I'm trying to remember what it was. No, it was in the U.S. It wasn't a foreign country. And I'm trying to remember because it was back in like in the 50s or 60s, maybe even the 70s, in the 60s. I'm pretty sure. Was it just? Oh man, what was it? I cannot remember the name of the place. It was so weird. Whenever I watched the little documentary on it, it just like these people moved in there and they touted it as being like this beautiful place. No, not 3 Mile. Oh man, what the hell was the name of it? A city abandoned like city. Salton Sea. That's what it is. It's Salton Sea. It's a saline lake that catered to. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I remember hearing about this. So share this tab instead. So this was the place that was Salton Sea. Head to stage. There we go. So the Salton Sea, California. It is the largest lake in the state. The Salton Basin has held various waters over the last 3 million years as the Colorado River has changed its course and spilled over, filling up the basin with freshwater lakes that would eventually evaporate. Then the process would start all over again. One of these long ago lakes known in history was Lake Chihuahua, which formed around 700 AD and was utilized extensively by the Chihuahua and Comini Indians for freshwater fishing, bird hunting, and marsh plants. The ancient lake continued to occupy basin off until about 3 centuries ago. So this is the Salton Bay Club or whatever. This was the area, and this is how they promoted it. That does look like it could be about 50s. Pretty interesting. So go back here. So it's situated in the Sonora Desert in southeastern California. Let's see. And the Salton Sink or the Salton Basin. However, in the 50s, certain species survived, including Gulf croaker, sargo, orange corvine, and tilapia. As the fish began to thrive, it fueled a recreation boom. In the 50s, the inland desert sea became an inviting sport fishing and vacation destination. Its coastline developed numerous resorts and marinas catering to water skiers, boaters, and fishermen in no time billed as the Palm Springs by the sea. Yeah. The Salton Sea's bright lights would fade in the 70s when the sea's water levels began rising from several years of heavy rain, increasing agricultural drainage. Shorefront homes, businesses, resorts, and marinas flooded several times until the water stabilized in 80 after a series of conservation measures to reduce the field runoff. For the resort, it was too late. The salt and fertilizers, the runoff had accumulated to such a degree that they had reached toxic levels, which began the cycle of decay. As algae fed on the toxins, it created massive amounts of rotten smelling matter floating on the surface of the lake, and it suffocated many of the fish. Within a few years, the resorts had closed, the marinas were abandoned. Those who could afford to had moved, leaving in their wake abandoned businesses, homes, and scattered junk. The Salton Sea continues to maintain itself, fed by the Alamo, Whitewater, and New Rivers, as well as continued agricultural runoff from irrigated farmland, covering an average surface of about 375 miles. So this is what it looks like now. It's just gone. Just
Nice. That's what I thought he was talking about when he started, Hal.
what? What's that?
When you started talking about this, I thought you were talking about that one with Aaron Brockovich.
Oh no! Don't forget the. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That wasn't that like
That was Power Lines or something, or no, it was not Power. It was
It's
something in
methane
there.
in the water or
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
I
It's
love that
weird.
movie.
Oh, if you love that movie, what's the name of it? It's one with what's his name? Billy Bob Thornton. like it was a series. Goliath. If you liked Aaron Brockovich, that movie, watch Goliath. I think you can
One of
see
my
it.
coworkers this morning was telling me about there's something on Netflix about the F word.
About the F word. Oh well,
I don't have Netflix anymore though. I don't think. I don't even know.
Jesus. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, I can't play that. There was a couple of things I was going to play, but no. Yeah. So what? Loved Goliath. Yeah, Tootly Pip loved Goliath. Who's Aaron Brockovich?
She took down like the whole thing. She was amazing.
Well, partly. I mean, it was still the attorney that did all
Well,
the
yeah, but
work.
she put in all the legwork for that.
Yeah, she did the research on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I tell you what, and that law firm is still around, but she's just like partial holder of it. She really doesn't do much of anything anymore. It's basically just her name
Oh,
that pulls it.
how long ago was that?
Well, yeah, but I mean, after that, she really didn't do much of anything. She just, I mean, that's what I would do. If I had
Oh yeah, I'm sure she for like that movie coming out, I'm sure she got money from that, and
Mhm.
that's all I'd do, sit back and relax.
Exactly. Yeah, Love Canal was a toxic waste dump. Yeah, there's lots of them out there like that just get completely destroyed.
Yeah, the movie came out in 2000. Holy bucket.
Well, that's what makes me so suspicious of this, wanting to create the these little
And she's the president of Brockovich Research and Consulting now.
yeah. So she doesn't have
She
to do
doesn't have to
anything.
do, yeah, she doesn't have to do. She was a paralegal
Mhm.
and
Yeah. She was never an attorney.
it was she won the case, or she built the case against Pacific Gas and Electric Company,
Yeah.
PG&E. They were poisoning a whole town.
Unknowingly. Or well,
Or
well, no,
that's
here's the
debatable,
thing.
I
They were
guess.
doing it unknowingly, but whenever it was brought to their attention, they still
Then
didn't
they,
address the issue,
yeah.
and they basically tried to cover it up, and that's what brought them down. So,
Well,
it
hey,
happens.
good morning.
Choose up Farrell's newspaper. Does not want to get beat by it.
Nope.
On the dump with the help of the government. Yes. And that right there is the biggest thing. They purposely built that town on the dump with the help of the government. And that's what worries me about all of these little pop-up cities. I'm dealing with somebody that's wanting to do one of those. They sent me this message that they wanted to get all of this property and blah blah blah, and we want to coordinate with you, and it's going to be a live here, all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, our stuff isn't centralized. It's not in one location. It's spread out. Good luck, I guess. I mean, what do you want from me? Oh, we want you to donate the property. Well, that's not how that works. That's not how it works. That is not how it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to go through a process, and here's the process. I run into that quite a bit. I would say because of this group that I work with over the past like 3 years, I've seen many of these groups come in, and it's all affordable housing. That's the first keyword that I know that they're full of shit, because affordable housing is it's in the eye of the beholder. Okay, what's affordable to me may not be affordable to you, and what's affordable to you may not be affordable to somebody else. We get a lot of people wanting to build these container homes. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Son of a bitch. I want a grain bin house.
You want a grain bin house?
Yes, I want a house made out of an old grain bin.
You know how expensive that's going to be?
Yes, I know. Listen, I know. already have a grain bin. I just need to turn it into a house.
Yeah.
Of course, first I have to buy out my siblings to do it.
Oh, well,
That's
that
the
is
expensive part.
well, that's part of the expensive part. Just you'll see these people that, they come in and they say, "Oh, we're going to build this house. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great, and we're going to do X, Y, or Z." There was, and I had to do a little research because I'd never heard of this container home crap, and I was like, "Okay, so
Oh, I
what
love
exactly
them.
is this?" So what they do is they bring out these shipping containers. First of all, the shipping containers have to be cleared and cleaned out from whatever chemicals that might have come in, whatever issues it might have had. They're not waterproof. So any kind of water damage, things like that. And these are big metal containers. So there could be, deep seated root rust that you don't see. Then they want to stack them on top of one another. And that requires putting in foundation more than just your average house. There was a person that put one together and had the whole plans out, and they used it. And after all was said and done, it was about 4 times the cost of just building a standard structure home with more square footage, because you're also limited on where you can make cutouts. Like whenever you make a cutout in it for a doorway, you have to
They're
put up
boring.
you have to put all of this extra framework, and they're ugly. Those
No,
container
they're
homes are
not. They're
ugly.
so cute.
No, they're
Listen,
not.
Chizzy, you don't get it.
They are horrible looking.
Oh, I
Yeah, they're
love
trying
them.
to. Yeah, those container homes, they cost more to build than a standard wooden structure, and there's no insulation in them, so you actually lose square footage by a lot. You've just got this shell, and if you're cutting doorways out, you have to build that structure up using steel, because containers are really freaking heavy. So you've got all that extra weight. Like
I
you
don't care how
take
much they cost. They're cute.
okay, you stick with your cute. But there's certain counties. I think the Cobb County was one, and they were just like, no, you're not building that stuff here. It goes
I
against
love
all county
tiny
ordinances.
homes.
It's not going to happen. Well, and then they're trying to also get pad split put in. You know what pad split is, right?
No.
Okay. Pad split is you basically buy a home or build a home, and then you rent out the rooms
Oh, no.
by the month or whatever. So you have constantly people coming in, going, and it's a little bit less expensive, but you could have like a total psycho living in the house with you. You don't know.
Right. Right.
They're wanting to do that for like vets and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I understand your plans, and I can tell you so many ways this is a bad idea, and why they don't want to have this, and why the city doesn't want to have it, why the county doesn't want to have it, why they will deny them left and right, because you've got people living in that, and they're wanting to do this like maybe in a nice neighborhood, build this nice big house and have people just coming in, coming, going left and right. It's like, but it'll help the homeless. It's like, if they're homeless, there might be a reason why they're homeless. There are people that actually need housing, because they've made some really poor life decisions, and now they're broke.
And others
Think-
who didn't,
do you-
but
Well,
it's not always poor decisions that causes stuff like that. But
well, I agree. But a lot of times, if you track it back, it is really poor
I
decisions.
mean, a lot of it
created.
is, yeah, for sure. But there's a lot of
There's some
mental
that
health and other things like that too. But
exactly. And
Moving
I'm all about helping vets, but if
Right.
if the veteran doesn't want your help, don't force it on them.
yeah, a lot of them don't. It's
Yeah, a lot of people think they're pretty cool. You don't get it. 500 is $500,000. 500,000 is $500,000. Okay.
that's a short
Okay.
gap.
$1 million. Okay, $1 million.
No.
No, they're expensive to build. Like yeah.
Have you watched Tiny Home Nation? I think it's called.
Yeah,
Oh,
those people are paid for that. They make
I
they
know.
make money.
Don't care. They're cute.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cute.
I also would love to live in an RV, so I like that kind of
Uh-huh.
stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I wish I could pull it up right now. There's one in Atlanta that is like a container home duplex. It's got 3 containers stacked up on top of one another. It just looks like horrible. Just looks so bad. I'm just like, oh God. Like this
Such a hater,
eyesore.
Shizzy.
No, no, no. Voice to text air. That duct tapes Eris to her chair.
She probably needs it.
Make Adobe homes go again. No, I lived in an Adobe home in New Mexico. Yep. It's got a flat roof. You have a swamp cooler in it because you don't have AC. You know why you don't have AC? Because you have no moisture in the air. So you have to pump moisture into it. So you get
Right.
this what they call a swamp cooler, and you put it up
Yep.
on the roof
I know what those are.
and just circulates water through these things and cycles it in there. They used to just hang like laundry in the house, like sheets, and soak the
Mhm.
sheets with water and just
That's
hang them in
the
the house.
I'll dry clothes if it gets like I should be doing that now actually. It's so my skin is so dry right now from the winter but just wash stuff and hang it to dry it instead of using the dryer and stuff.
Oh yeah, make Adobe great again. Got it. Uh, don't those I don't P homes went from 20 grand to build like almost 1 million. Yeah, I mean those like the container homes cost so much to build. Just like it I was surprised by the price of them, and the structural work that you have to do is like, why would you go through all that effort? I mean, you can make it look like a container home if that's what you want, but just make it out of traditional wood.
There's a cabin over where we go camping a lot. It's a container cabin thing. It looks so neat.
I can understand that. Like if you're living there full time, just take
Yeah.
and build a log cabin. It's going to last you a hell of a lot longer, and it's going to have its own insulation. That wood provides a lot of insulation. You know, it's weird, but
I would also love that. Like a
Mhm.
legitimate log cabin, like not these dumb ones that are just little houses with wood exterior. Like a legit log cabin would be so cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I built the shed out back. You know, put a porch on it and all that kind of crap for the
Right.
wife.
Yeah, I saw it. We were looking, you showed me one night.
Mhm. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting piece whenever it's done. I can't wait to get the siding for it. That'll be something I do in the spring.
Right.
Like all my projects got shot down.
You don't want to go out there this week and work on it.
No, no. I mean, my indoor projects got shot down. So
Mm. Mhm.
before all of the water damage,
Right.
like, and this is no joke,
Oh.
the week prior, I was like, all right, I'm ready to get the cement, ready to get the extra lumber that I need, and I was going to frame out part of our basement where the hot water heater is and the furnace, and just provide some extra storage for like wife has Christmas ornaments and she has like legal documents that we store there that have, you know,
Yeah.
like all of her cases she has to keep them for like 7 years or something like that.
Right.
I was like, cool. You know, I can build out this space, stuff like camping gear and things like that gets stored there. And I was like, I'll get this framing, build up a wall, add some extra lighting down here so you can see whenever you come down here to change. Because she does that, she'll change out like Christmas and Easter and all that stuff. She does like little ornaments, whatever. It's her thing. Cool. So I was supposed to go last weekend to pick that stuff up, like get the concrete. I have a cement mixer that I would have just mixed the concrete, poured out this because we got a spot that sort of, it has like sand in it or something. It just needs to be cleared out and cemented in to build the framing. It'll be like a pony wall with a shelf and then just goes up to the ceiling. So, whatever. And then this water leak happened. It was like, wife is like, I am so glad you didn't buy any material because it would have just gone. It would just been clogging up our garage.
Right. Just sitting there.
And we don't know how
all
long.
Dressed up, no place to go.
Yes. She's like, well, how long is it going to take for them to do this? We were trying to get an idea, and he was just like, I don't know. We have to get the insurance adjuster out here first. And then once they come out, it could be any amount of time because they'll have to assess where the leak is coming from.
Coming out next.
We don't know yet. Have no idea.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. Yes. I just, I have to stay on the wife with that kind of stuff too. She has access to that. I'm sure I could figure out the access and harass them just as much, but why do you don't need, husband, wife tag teaming going after people like that. Just, it'll happen. But
eventually,
in the process of that, I have no projects to do. Like, so my weekends end up being free for now. And she was like, well, what else are you going to be working on? I was like, well, here's an idea, because you want to have a trundle bed in there whenever you're all is said and done. I could start building that.
Yep.
So you'll have your little trundle bed ready to go in there whenever they get everything done. We just
That'll
move
work.
it in there and be done. Get a mattress for it. She's like, okay. It's like,
you better get pictures of that. I want to see it when you're done, when it's all done and installed.
I want to see what it looks like beforehand, because she said she sent me pictures of it, but of what she wanted built. And I was like, okay. She was like, it's in, I emailed it to you. Like, all right, you email me stuff, but you usually email me stuff with other things. Like she'll send me some random, like, here, check this out. And then it'll be like how to make a bowl of soup or some random shit. And then inside that same email, she'll have, oh, and here's a picture of this thing that I want you to build.
She's like trying to read a recipe or directions for it. And you got to read through their life story before you get to it.
Yes. Oh, I hate those. I hate those.
I hate
so much.
them.
Oh,
Like,
we
jump to
started on-
recipe is the best thing ever.
Yes. Yes. So if you people,
if you don't have it, I just find something else.
yeah. If it doesn't show up right away, it's like, I'll read your story after I've made whatever thing it is I'm trying.
No, I'm not going to read your story anyway, but
Probably not. But still, give me the recipe. That's all I'm after. I just want to figure out how to make this one particular dish. Speaking of, I got to come up with a good recipe for beef short ribs. I think I'll smoke them. Smoked beef short ribs. That'll be really good.
they were killing me on MGs last night.
Who was?
Kaiser and MG, they were talking food all night long, it seemed like.
Oh yeah. They're hilarious. I meant to tell Kaiser that last night. Fuck, that I'm not gonna be able to make the group Dollywood. I'm not gonna be able to make Dollywood. So I was like, fuck, I forgot to tell him that. It sucks, but that's it's not gonna happen. Sorry.
I know. Real life's got to come first.
All of
I
those.
wish you both were able to come.
What, both my wife and I? That would be awesome.
That would be so cool.
But here's the thing. She has something that she has to do, and it's like, because of her place in the bar, she has to go.
Yeah, right.
Um,
MG's wife is making him vet all of us first before she allows us to meet the kids.
oh, that's good.
Which is smart.
That's good.
But he's
Yeah,
like,
you definitely
I
wanna do
stream
that.
with most of these people already. I see them all the time, but I mean, it's different. And there will be people there that he hasn't met on stream and stuff too, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I would want to keep if I had kids, I would probably want to keep them away from,
yeah,
most of
mine
the
are staying
streamers.
here.
Be like, hey, we'll we'll keep the kids over here, and
Yeah,
if
that's what she's gonna do. She's just gonna do
good,
stuff with the kids while he's doing stuff with us. And
good for her. I mean,
yeah,
I'd
I
still like
think
to meet
that
her. I think she's pretty cool.
yeah, I think she may have a friend coming with her that she's always wanted to go to Dollywood, Mrs. MG.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So she's
Have
definitely going. And
have the friend watch the
yeah,
littles.
no, no, just do stuff with her and the kids. And I mean, there's going to be plenty of time for him to do stuff with his family too, that we're not doing stuff all together or whatever. So
Yeah, that's very true. I would love to be going and hanging out and bring the wife along, and I think it would be awesome.
yeah, I'm gonna
But
go do the Titanic Museum. I've always wanted to go there. So
the Titanic Museum is that in Dollywood?
yeah, it's in Pigeon Forge or
Okay.
somewhere, yeah,
See, I
somewhere
don't
down
know.
there anyway.
Yeah, see,
We're
you
gonna
see
go
down
do
there.
that, and
For me,
I
that's
have some
up there.
friends that are also coming down. So we're gonna do the Hatfield and McCoy dinner theater thing,
Oh,
and
very
then
fun.
the Titanic Museum. So, and who knows what else, but those are two things I want to do.
Yeah, and there's plenty other things to do in that area also.
Right.
I mean, it's a beautiful area. I've been through was it Knoxville, Pigeon Forge area. I've been through there like plenty of times. That's much further north than I am, but going up to like my grandparents whenever they lived in Indiana. Well,
Yeah.
when they lived, I would go up and visit, on a regular
I have a
basis.
friend that has a Airbnb, a very interesting Airbnb down there.
Oh,
Have I sent it to you?
it's like
I'll have to send it to you. It's a BDSM Airbnb.
That's funny. That's funny.
I would love to rent that, but it's really expensive. So
Airbnb BDSM. Airbnb.
it looks,
Uh,
it's really, really nice though.
Yeah.
Like it's set up, it's really fancy.
I would hate to be on the cleanup crew of that.
Right? That's part of the reason why it's so expensive is because of the cleaning that has to be done to it. And
The sanitation.
yeah. So but it's
Yeah.
cool.
That's one of those places you show up with a black light. Turn it. They have black lights built in, so you don't have to carry your own. You just walk
It
in.
has a cage underneath the bed. I said, how many husbands have you found under there? She's like, a lot. I just keep them.
That's awesome.
Well, this was a great vacation. Bye, honey.
So here's the new talking point for the White House. I just thought this was damn funny.
Wolfie.
I love it. So this is the new talking points for the White House. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has proposed new rules that could lower overdraft fees. This is what they're running on. If a bank temporarily lends a consumer money when their account has reached a zero balance, the consumer is typically responsible for paying back both the overdrawn amount and the additional fee. Isn't that weird how that works? I think this is, that's a wonderful service that you're providing to somebody, and you have to pay a high interest for not having money in your account. If you don't have money in your account, don't spend it. Now, I understand there's times that you don't realize there's not money in your account. I've had that happen to me before.
Right.
And I've had overdraft fees. But there's a way to avoid that. You have separate accounts that draw off of it. Like I have a savings account and I don't have overdraft protection. My overdraft protection is if there's no money there, it automatically withdraws it out of my savings and puts it in there. That's my overdraft system. Like, but outside of that, just keep a steady balance in there. Yeah, a $3 cup of coffee could end up costing someone $30. Well, here's an idea.
or
Don't buy the
more.
$3 cup of coffee. It's hard. Here's what to know. What is an overdraft fee? We already know that. How can I avoid incurring overdraft fees? Well, stop putting your money in a bank. It's one way.
Yeah.
Carry cash on you at all times. Is find an account that does not charge them. Now offer many accounts with these fee structures. Capital One, Ally Bank offer consumer accounts that will not charge overdraft fees. Amazing. That's what I have as Capital One. The second thing to do is opt out of, and I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying that there's places out there like that. Ally Bank is another online bank. If you choose not to accept the service, your bank won't cover overdrafts and instead return any payment that can't be covered as unpaid, but you won't be charged an overdraft fee. But I mean, you could still get fees against you. I don't have cash in my pocket. Exactly. If you don't have cash in your pocket, then don't buy it. Outside of like large purchases, and if you're doing large purchases, you know how much money you have because you're forced to look at your account, and it's so easy for you to especially if you've got your cell phone, because everybody has their damn phone connected to them, that you could log in and see what your account has in it, and you can see if any of your last transactions were taken out. Super easy. I mean, even places like Wells Fargo have the ability to do that.
Mine, the one that I use most, every time I make a purchase, it texts me or notifies me and tells me what my balance is. You spent this much here, and here's your current balance. Every time.
Yeah.
It would be very helpful if schools still taught checking account stuff and how to balance one and all these things.
What you mean? Use a pencil to write it down?
But you don't even have, I mean, you can use a old school ledger like that, but you don't really,
That's
If-
what I'm saying.
if they
Like-
taught it, then people would know how to do it at least and could work out their own system for doing it. But
Well, most people don't have a system. Their system is, well, somebody will pay for it for me. I got it covered. Like, it's this instant gratification world that we run into. Like
right.
I wife and I were what is this? Oh yeah. I'll check it out here in a bit.
Yeah.
So like the wife and I had this discussion the other day, and because we're working on saving up to get a like rental property that we can, rent out, possibly move into whenever we're ready to retire.
Right.
And so we're sort of saving up for that to make that happen. And then not even a few days after that, she's like, "Oh, I want to spend this kind of money on getting some new furniture and getting like this and this." And I was just like, wait, stop. Hold on. Wait, that's not what we talked about. What we talked about is we were saving up to do this one particular thing, and we're going to hold off on any, big expenditures. Well, it's over a period. I was like, we talked about this. You're talking about a good chunk of change that you wanted to do all this stuff with. And I'm not down
Well,
with the instant gratification.
Chizzy, there's probably a sale on what she wants. So if she doesn't buy it, it's like losing money.
Nope.
Girl math.
Yeah. See, it's instant gratification. Me, I don't go for the instant gratification. I stopped doing that like 30 years ago. Just like, no. Like nobody could understand why I always had rent, and then I could still go out on weekends
Right.
and party. It was like, well, here's what my rent is. Once my rent is taken care of and covered, and I have that set aside, my utilities, all that stuff, I could guesstimate, if every month I'm paying, just for example, my part would be $100 in utilities. Then I would just make sure that I had my rent plus that extra 100 for utilities, set that aside, and anything left over, that's mine to, that's my fuck around money.
Right.
If I was saving, like whenever I was saving up to get my eyes lasered, here I am making, poverty level wages, and I actually saved up enough money so I didn't have to buy glasses ever again.
Nice.
Until I got, get old and my eyesight goes bad. These are just filtered glasses. These are not
Right.
like these just cut down on the blue light that comes through the screen. Keeps my eyes a little bit from getting too weary.
Yeah,
But
because not all of us can wear sunglasses. I don't know how a man does it.
oh, I do.
When I wear them and make fun of him on stream, like I can't see a damn thing.
Well, you have to get the right filter on it. You have to get the right filter. Don't get
Yes.
polarized lenses. That's the first thing. If you're using polarized lenses, it switches it out, so you can't see the screen as well.
Well, I'm not about to buy special sunglasses to make fun of myself. So
Judge
hi,
Maddie.
Maddie.
It's just Farrell will laser your eyes, 10% discount.
I don't know how well you'll see after that, but let's go.
Yeah, people may not be able to do anything unless there's an app for it, but if it's there, it's a tool. Use it,
Right.
you know. But I mean, I know I can tell you within about 50 cents how much I have in every account.
Right.
Like I have stock accounts, I have, you know, all kinds of shit everywhere. And, you know, I could tell you I can pretty much tell you my net worth too. You know,
I always
within
had to balance. I had to do put all of the farm stuff into Quicken and stuff at the end of every month for my dad. So that's how I
Mhm.
learned how to balance
balance.
stuff and
Yep.
figure out a budget from using that. And look, this is how much went into this part of this, and this is how much went into that. And
And it's once you get the system down, it's really easy, and you can
yeah,
track it, you know, and then it's just a matter of doing a couple of calculations. At least you're not like FTX, and that's how they did their books, was on QuickBooks. Could you imagine running a multi-billion-dollar enterprise on QuickBooks?
right. No.
Yeah. No. That doesn't work. Yeah, so if you
It
overdraft
was hard enough to do a small family farm on it.
yeah. Increasingly banks are offering grace periods, and see what brought this about. The thing that they were getting all pissy about is banks are making so much money. There was even a banker that named his boat Overdraft.
That's funny, actually.
Well, it is funny. But what it was is he took a bank, I think it was TCP. He took a bank that was in the red, and brought them out of the red and got
Okay.
them where they were actually, you know, in the black, which is where you want to be. If you're in the green, that means you're making money. If you're in the black, it means you're
Right.
okay. In
Which
the
is
red
the real
is
reason it's called Black Friday,
right.
because it's well, it used to be anyway when they still had Black Friday, but
Yeah, that's long
not
since
really a thing
gone.
anymore.
Sort of level out those books.
Yep.
Get out of the red, get into the green if you can. It's crazy. But we are long past that wonderful phase of life. You know, that people are missing out on so much of it because of that instant gratification. You know, it was like the Walmart girl. She wants that instant gratification, be able
Yeah.
to go out and party with her friends, to wear all the nice clothes and not pay her dues. And then it makes it even more difficult whenever these kids have kids and all of a sudden they have to figure out a budget. And they're like, how can I can't raise this kid on my own. Well, you're not supposed to. You know, there's a reason why, you know, most society promotes, you know, getting married before having kids. So you have someone that's providing for the three of you.
Right.
It's a novel idea. I mean, most civilized countries it works, but I mean, I think most successful relationships will survive that kind of stuff. And you know, like I said, it's instant gratification. My wife and I, we talked about that, and you know, she was just like, yeah, but I'm like, okay, well, just know that, you know, this thing that we've been talking about for the past, you know, several
So
months.
shizzy. When,
Might not
does your new
happen.
furniture get delivered?
Yeah. She's probably going to hold off on that because knowing the damage that we're going to have to get taken care of,
Right.
you know, the insurance is going to cover so much of it. I'm pretty sure like they should be covering 100% of it. And she asked
Right.
me, she goes, well, how
But
much
just
do
in
you think
case.
this? Yeah, she's like, how much do you think this is going to cost? I was like, oh, I would be surprised if we hit 6 figures on this. I'm no joke.
Yeah.
Like all said and done, I would not be surprised if it hit 6 figures. You're talking about the one side of your house, the foundation have to be taken care of. I don't know. You know, plus they have to rip out all the wall, which means they have to replace all those walls. Then they have to repaint all of those walls. You know, we may end up just repainting all the rooms, paid a little bit of extra, whatever. So there's
We were
that.
just talking about you, Kaiser.
Hey, Kaiser.
Good
Oh,
morning.
Kaiser, seeing that you can probably hear me, I won't be going to Dollywood. So, yeah, I will be in another state, or I'll be in my state. One of the two. We'll figure it out. That happens later. But no, I won't be able to make it. I'll be watching the pets as the wife has a conference that weekend. Yeah, sucks, but I was given that choice. It's like, well, you could either stay here or come with me. We get an Airbnb, make a long weekend out of it.
Yeah. I think when we go to Dollywood, I'm going to kidnap Kaiser and just make him move into my kitchen and cook for me all the time.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to do.
He was sharing some of his foods last night. Looked pretty
Yeah, I know. It is a bummer, and I know. I was holding out hope. Of course, I should have hoped in one hand and pooped in the other,
good.
and
Right.
saw which one was going to fill up first. Wolfram's like, run, Kaiser, run. It's like, there'll be a reason why. You know, Farrell says she's not bringing any of her children. She wants you to learn. She wants to teach you how to cook. See? So something's happening there.
I mean, I can cook. I would just prefer if somebody else did it for me.
That's a plan, Farrell. Bring the zip ties.
Right? We'll just take him to Alaska with us, Eris, and we'll make him cook for us.
Oh, good Lord. Is that what your plan is?
Yeah, we're gonna
Move
run
to
away.
Alaska. Run away to Alaska. Yeah. My wife and all of her friends get together and they talk about, you know, the winning of the lottery and the complex that she wants to build. And I just laugh. I'm like, yeah, first of all, you got to win the lottery first. Outside of that, those plans are just garbage.
I know. That's my plan too. I'm gonna win the lottery and buy out my siblings and move back to the farm.
And build it up into a big complex, huh? Go
Yeah.
live in a container home.
I mean, there's that.
There's that.
And I'll just do the grain bin that I want to do then.
Yeah. I wouldn't I wouldn't change much of what I'm doing. That would be the thing. You know, I would probably still stream, just have a little more fun with it.
Right.
Because I'm limited on what I can do, you know.
Oh, YouTube wants to shut me down. I'll just start my own.
Exactly. Pretty much. That's probably what I would do, or become a big investor in something of that sort where it wouldn't really matter. Well, that, you know,
Take
I'd
over
like to-
Rumble and make it have a good chat platform.
Good Lord, yes. And I'm sure, I think I still may have all that. No, I probably turned it all off because I was running into issues with it. No, it's still running. I still got Kick and Rumble up, but yeah.
Well,
this Sunday
Kaiser,
morning-
if you don't want to be kidnapped, you're gonna have to stop sharing food porn on the internet.
Just ignore all that talk. See you in Tennessee, hon. You're not a piece of meat. Well, you better get used to it. That's how these ladies view you, is just a hot piece of meat, cooking a hot piece of meat. It's good stuff.
I have
Good
lots of
stuff.
grills and stuff too. It's okay. You'll be right at home, Kaiser.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there's
I would never tell you that you have too many grills.
there's a place in our old neighborhood. They had like, I want to say 10 green eggs. They had various sizes of them too. They had like the extra, extra, extra large, and then the next size down, which is the large, and then they had, so they had the extra large, large, the medium, and they had like 5 or 6 of the smaller ones, and some of the everything. It was just like, God, you people have a lot of green eggs. It's probably about $10,000 worth of green eggs. Like what
We have 3 different Blackstones.
Yeah.
We have the big one for just at the house, and then we have the small, like the tailgater one for camping, and then I have an electric one for in the house. I love them.
Yeah, my brother-in-law wants to get like this really expensive pellet grill, and I was just like, why? I was like, because I don't want to have to think about it. I can just set it and go.
Well, the plan was to use the like tailgater one for camping, but when we go camping, we also go camping with different groups of friends and stuff, or we're at the festivals and stuff. So we end up always just bringing the big one too. And we use the big one because we are feeding so many people. So,
well, and that's what happens. Like I've got a small propane grill that I like do hot dogs and crap like that on. Like I think you've probably seen my setup before. I've showed the big green egg, and it's its own container, has a flip up top and all that stuff. Yeah. It works out perfect. I got this little propane grill that can cook hot dogs for my wife and I if we're going to do some hot dogs or burgers or even steaks. I want to grill out some steaks. Yeah, there's nothing like doing them on charcoal. But I'm also on a time crunch pretty much all the time. So it's like, yeah, normally setting up your charcoal grill, getting it nice and hot and to the point where everything's going to cook. You're looking at what, 20, 30 minutes. Gas, I can just turn it on and get it. By the time I've got my meat all seasoned, that just sounds dirty. I can pretty much throw them on there and be done, be ready to go. Never buy a Traeger grill, overpriced junk. You're paying for the name. No, it's not a Traeger. It's something else. I can't remember the name of the company, but it's like their premium bullshit thing. He was like, oh, I just want to get this. Yeah, I wouldn't buy a Traeger. That's just not me. I was using that as an example so people know sort of what it is. Barbecue contest at Valhalla's. I am not taking my big green egg to do a barbecue contest.
Wolfie, nobody is going to cook a goat for you.
Yeah, see, I fire up the big green egg and like my brisket, superb, ribs, superb, my butt, perfect. Like I've got it down to I can cook and go about my day. That's usually what I do during barbecue season.
Maddie wants everybody to go buy a Traeger right now.
It's way down. I love it, Judge Patty. That's awesome.
I think you should blame Kaiser for that.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my friends had gotten a Traeger and he was like, "Oh, this is perfect. I enjoy it."
My sister has one.
Yeah, build a good product. Capitalism.
We do lots of hibachi on the Blackstone. That's our favorite thing to cook on there.
Okay.
It's fun. And Sam's Club, my very favorite thing to cook on there is Sam's Club has these coconut pineapple spears.
Okay.
And they are fantastic on the Blackstone.
Wow.
Oh man, I even made pineapple upside down cakes on the Blackstone when we were camping one time. It was so much fun. I just did them in like little mini muffin tins.
Yeah.
It turned out super good.
That's awesome. I buy high and sell low. No wonder I'm stuck working nights.
I'll have to find a picture of them and put them in Discord.
Yeah, speaking of buying low and selling high, or buying high and selling low, like my wife over the past, what, 4 or 5 years that I've, like, really got more aggressive with some of the stocks I buy. We were talking with our financial planner the other day, and, I was like, "Yeah, I'm up pretty good, about 20%." He was just like, "The fuck? How are you up?" And I showed him, and he was like, "Jesus, you bought, like, all the stuff that exploded. Like you should go into day trading." I was like, no. No. That's a dangerous path. That'll put you in the poorhouse quicker than anything. You know, you'll have those really good up days and all the stress that's involved in. I was like, no, no. I just make good solid investments and go for the things that I feel are going to do well. And if they do, they do. If they don't, then I get out whenever it starts to go down. I don't chase it down. I did that early on, you know, did smaller amounts and was like, "Oh yeah, I feel like I'm just chasing a rabbit down a rabbit hole and it's not coming back." And got out of them. Was like, done with those, and stopped doing like the little penny stocks and crap like that. No, not stock advice or any brokering or anything like that, because I've got no advice for you on that. But always try to buy low and sell high if you can. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. Other than that, I'm an idiot when it comes to investing.
There, I sent you a picture of one of them. I didn't. Oh, of course, we're camping, so the picture's not the greatest, but
Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
I suppose I could
Yeah.
have just share screened, but I always forget about that option.
Oh yeah, that's very cool.
Sean?
Open in browser. Share this tab instead. There we go. There you go. Right there. Does that not look delicious? Got that little cherry in there.
I need help. I need her. And I did the coconut pineapple spears. That's what I used for the pineapple in it, and they were. I
Oh
love
yeah.
baking on the Blackstone.
Yeah, I could probably show this cabin here.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing that's bad in it. I mean,
No,
it's not
no.
like there's inaction photos or anything like that.
We'll just do this. We'll show all photos for these folks here. There you go. It's got your swang. Got a cage
Mhm.
under the bed. It's got
I
a.
love it's so pretty.
Have you been to this place or?
No, my friend owns it.
Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty. What is it? It says Smoky Secrets. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. They're all about the bed there, aren't they?
Of course.
Like
It's
who doesn't want to have the sink the cross there, you know? Yeah, see, it's not a bad looking place.
right?
I like that's so funny with the cage under.
That's my favorite part.
I don't know. I think I would probably be bringing my own whip. Well, at least they leave the keys there. That would really suck if you lost the keys.
Right? Oh, I'm sure they have
Uh,
extras.
I'm sure they do. Farrell's bed, it has a Singapore sling.
I mean, she has to get the husbands out somehow after the wives leave them there.
Yeah. That is pretty looks pretty damn cozy. I don't like
Right?
I don't like the black though. I mean, that's just me. It's not
Right. Well, it goes with the
style.
theme.
Yeah, it goes with the theme. Like I said,
Right.
it works for the
She has
theme.
quite a few rental or like Airbnb properties like that, and they all have kind of different themes and stuff, and she does a really good job decorating them, and
I wonder how much they use the stove, like in their little kink. Like, sit your ass on the stove. No, it's hot. Oh, that's pretty cool. There's a
Mhm.
big ass walk-in.
Yep.
So it's a combination shower and bathtub area and
Yeah.
everything. Like,
Yeah, the
damn.
bathroom is huge.
Yeah, it is.
I thought about renting it for when we're down there.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea. like the
Oh, look.
like the
They have
hand.
a handsome Maddie. Have you Clumsy has a little handsome, it's a little hand just like that on her table when she's reading.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, it's white, but it's just like that.
Well, that's poorly built right there.
I'll tell her you have suggestions.
Well, no, because I'm looking. It looks like that almost looks like
Right.
it's made out of cypress right there. The wood looks like it's made out of cypress because that's the way the grain looks on cypress. Yeah, you can tell that was hand painted because you can see the lines in it like that. Sort of has that rustic look. I wouldn't have done
Mm-hmm.
the multiple little tacks up there, but that's just me. Those are just little pieces that you can buy those in Home Depot and they just attach up there.
The what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, here I'll draw it up. These little things right up here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what
You
you
can
were
buy those
looking
at
at.
Home Depot. You usually put them on door frames. Like you would just put a single one above each door frame as you frame it out, like in a corner. That's what those are for. Like
Okay.
if you're building out your door frame here, right? You're building out your door frame and you've got it coming up like that. You put one of those little here, I'll just erase that a little bit easier. So your door frame normally goes here like so, goes up. And as it comes up, you got this little square piece here with that little hole in it, and then your other piece attaches to that and goes across like that. And then you got another one over here, and then it goes down. It's sort of yeah, so those little things would be right there. That's how you would normally do a door frame. That's why it's funny that you see multiple ones across the top.
Right.
It's like, I mean, I guess, but that's just me. I guess I notice things like that. Of course,
I
you
was
gotta
gonna
have the
say
constant
you
proof.
build shit, that's why.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
really
the
weird.
faucet.
Yeah, the flows are over like that. That is pretty cool looking faucet. And this is a wand. So this can spray. It comes
Yep.
out of it, sort of like a thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Pretty cool. What we're at 34 out of 35. I don't know if I would have done the verticals in there, but I might have done some of the
You're
shiplap.
adorable.
What, me?
Yes.
Well, I do like their floor. That looks like what do you call it? Laminate. It looks like a laminate floor.
Probably.
Well, and the reason I say that is because it's too smooth to be tile, and probably a lot cheaper to do laminate.
Right. Well, it's probably easier to clean too.
Yeah, looks like they freshly pressure decked their back deck.
Pressure washed. Pressure
Yeah,
decked.
pressure decked. So if they thought about it, what they could do is do some window boxes here, like maybe a couple here, like one here, and then have like some nice flowers growing out of it.
Hmm.
And then probably I would do like some seating here of some sort, like a swing.
Mm,
And
like a big
and
one, like the one that you have.
yeah, see, another thing that, or they could even do it right here is build a here, I'll do it in a different color just to give an idea, because the red won't work. So what you do is you build up a post here, hold a post here, another post here. So you got these two posts, and then you do, well, actually you could probably do four. So you do four posts like so, and then you run some cross members here,
Mhm.
and then you run cross members across the top of this here. And what you do is on either side of this, you put a planter. So on either side of that, you do like a little planter, and you can do like some Confederate jasmine that'll grow up over the top of this and provide shade, and you still
Mhm.
keep it containered. And then all you have to do is just trim it here, keep it off the roof. Don't want
Right.
it growing up on the roof, but have it grow up over the top of that, and then underneath that you have just like a nice little metal swing that hangs out here.
I know a
And
Kaiser.
huh? Critiquing architecture, design of a sex dungeon. Yeah, this is outside. I mean, you could like have your like little sex swing, and
I
if
was
you
gonna
have like,
say it could be a schmeck swing.
yeah, you could. And over here, like in this little spot, what you've got is like a nice little like storage container that can also provide a little bit of extra seating, and that's where you keep the swing stored. So you can just break that out and hook it up here, or have like your little latches right here on the ground in the deck, and then have your latches up here in the top, and you can just suspend them right there.
I like it, Hal.
So you have
You did, Lexi.
you have this poor guy right here, or lady, and they're just
Yes.
handcuffed right in here.
Stick figure schmecks.
Yeah. So they're all hanging out here, and they're attached.
They're
I,
attached.
yeah, attached to the deck or
You don't
whatever.
need to bring one. She provides one, Kaiser.
Of course, I need to cover them here because they need to be like covered up. You don't want to be exposing things. Sorry. I'll erase the dirty parts of it. There you go. Yeah, see? You just, hook them all up right there. Leave them out in the hot sun to roast. So bad. See, I took away the fantasy. Sorry. Took away the fantasy. So it's not a very big place. I do like the fireplace up on, like in the
In the
bathroom
bathroom.
there. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Oh my.
Yeah, oh my.
I didn't see that one when I was looking at them.
But they take $10 every month for upkeep. I think it probably costs more than that for upkeep.
All kinds of fun things.
Washer dryer. Yeah, you got to have those. I'm sure things get dirty there. What does it
It's
say?
the kink cabin is what she calls it.
But the greatest of these is love. Aw, isn't that special?
Aw.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat little cabin.
Yeah.
You could even like have a cage underneath it, so some drawers,
I'm passing on all of your ideas for her to her.
yeah. Have like a spinning wheel where you can throw axes at the wheel. Don't do that. Don't do that. That would get,
Now we're getting into some exciting games.
yeah, those are
Hey,
not
Wolfie, want to go
exciting.
to Tennessee?
She'll throw newspapers at you like a paper boy. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. That's great. I enjoy these kinds of mornings where I just have a little bit of fun.
Right?
Oh, don't throw axes. Just throw. Oh, there you go. Suction cups on them. Just
It's all in the wrist.
it is all in the wrist. The St. Christopher's cross. Is it St. Christopher's or St. Vitus? I don't know. I forget. No, it's the St. Vitus dance. That's what I always forget. St. Christopher's cross. Okay.
Adult nerf darts.
Or feathers. Use feathers. That's torture right there. Especially if someone's really ticklish. You start using feathers on them like that. That is true torture. It's like that overstimulation.
Yep.
Yep. Ask Farrell. She knows. She'll tell you all about it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Perfect little angel.
Cordless drill with a feather duster. Oh my gosh. Oh, all you fine people, you get to see what we do for fun and the jokes we make. Like, this is the kind of shit that we would talk about like in the back room.
Yep.
You know, like everyone thinks, oh, you've got some big mystery thing going on. No, that we just get a little bit raunchier in the back room whenever we're talking about stuff. There's things that you can't show on YouTube that, we might.
Well, that's when all the shirts come off, so you can't be on YouTube.
Shirts, pants, all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. So I saw the invite for
Poor Maddie, my butt, Lexi.
sweet innocent soul winding up us degenerates. Not even close.
Right?
Maddie is far from pure. Far from pure. we know this for a fact. Lexi Farrell has been learning me.
Well, you know.
Well, if you know, you know.
Thank you.
It's because it's evil. She's got that evil smile, like, I'm going to get you. You know I am. That's why we like Farrell so much. It's because she's Farrell. She's a Farrell housewife. Love it. I love this stuff. And this is what I want my mornings to be like. Just super chill. Sometimes I talk politics, but I try not to do it all the time.
Right?
I mean, but that's top of the news. One of the reasons I wanted to do this is because we've got elections that are coming up. We've got primaries that are happening, whether you like it or not. You can enjoy it. You can join in with it. You can, you can just say, hey, I don't want to be here and catch me on the other stuff or catch other people on their other stuff. But it's always going to happen.
Yeah.
Politics just happens.
Yep.
Oh, what shall we do? I think what we'll do here is probably finish this thing off, and I'm going to send everybody over to Nick's so you can go say hi to Nick. Good people. He's covering some court stuff.
Yeah.
And
he hopped on last night on MG's, so
nice. Yeah, I was there. I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my plan is Jess and I will probably do a stream tonight.
That's right. You and Jess come over after you were done.
Yeah. No guarantees of what time it's going to be. Normally I would set it up for 7, but Jess said she's got some stuff to take care of before then. Yes. Oh, Danielle was there too.
Yeah.
Right, Danielle.
For some reason, I tried to listen to Expert Stream last night, but I couldn't. Like, I couldn't shut my phone off and quit playing it. Like, I have premium.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was because it was members only.
That might be it.
Because I was able to listen to you and Jess just fine. But
Yes.
Experts, I couldn't. So I went and listened to you guys anyway.
Yeah, and so Danielle, she's going to be going to go pamper herself.
Are you gonna do that? I heard you
Mhm.
guys talking about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Showed up way late and didn't get a shizzy smooth. Good morning, Lexi. Does that make you feel a little bit better? It's so wonderful to see you. You can just lay back, relax, just think sweet, sweet, gentle, tender thoughts.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
How's that for a start to your day,
Like,
Lexi?
thank you. You feel complete now.
Full
Pulls out
beef.
the mop. Yes, gonna get a massage. Mhm.
Awesome.
Good
I'm
stuff.
going to not next Monday, but the Monday after, gonna go get a facial. Oh, why did I say that on the internet? Wow. Well, I did it now. Nobody's allowed to tell David about the stream. I'll find you.
Yeah, sure.
Crap. Whoops.
Oh yeah. Just
Wow.
clip, 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 clip.
Woo!
Farrell will clip that one. Yeah, Farrell will clip that one. She'll send it to me to use.
Kind of hope YouTube shuts down the stream for that. Happens.
No, never. Never.
Woo!
Oh boy. And with that, I'm going to cut out of here. And everybody, you have a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And just, you'll know that I'm streaming because you'll get a notification if you get the notification bell turned on. That's the only way that you'll know that I'm going to be streaming. And with that, I will see you folks on the flip side. Peace, y'all.